President Lincoln ordered the Navy to sail for Charleston in an attempt to resupply Major Anderson with provisions and additional troops. The Confederate government in Montgomery, Alabama, aware of the expedition, debated a course of action. They decided not to permit the resupplying of Fort Sumter. Confederate General P.G.T. Beauregard was ordered to demand the fort's evacuation and to take Fort Sumter by force if Anderson refused. On the afternoon of April 11, 1861, Anderson received the ultimatum from Beauregard. Major Anderson refused, stating that his garrison would be starved out by April 15th. But with the Union supply ships expected at any moment, the reply was considered unacceptable. Major Anderson was informed that Confederate forces would soon open fire on Fort Sumter. At 4:30 a.m. on April 12, 1861, with the first Union supply ships at the Charleston Harbor's entrance, a mortar shell was fired from Fort Johnson. It exploded directly over Fort Sumter, signaling all Confederate guns bearing on the fort to open fire. The American Civil War had begun. The bombardment of Fort Sumter lasted 34 hours, with the Confederates firing more than 3,000 projectiles at the fort. Anderson had just 85 soldiers who had to work the guns in shifts, meaning only 9 or 10 of his 60 guns could even return fire. And during the second day of the battle, artillery fire from Moultrie set his officers' quarters and enlisted men's barracks on fire. With so few men, Anderson could not fight the fire and the Confederates at the same time. And that afternoon, arrangements were made for Anderson to surrender the fort. On April 14, 1861, Confederate forces occupied Sumter, allowing Anderson and his men to withdraw to New York aboard a Union supply ship. Further south, Fort Sumter was sacred ground, where the first shot of the war for Southern independence was fired. For the North, it was a place where secession and disloyalty to the Union had escalated into armed rebellion. For the next 2 years, as great battles were being fought in Virginia and Tennessee, Charleston remained relatively quiet. Just outside the harbor, U.S. Navy ships had formed a blockade to keep Southern cargo vessels from using Charleston. But on April 7, 1863, the war returned when 9 killed on those attacked Fort Sumter and Moultrie. After 2.5 hours, their artillery duel was over, leaving the Federals free. Realizing a greater effort would be required to seize Charleston, Northern troops advanced on Morris Island, located beyond Fort Sumter on the south side of the harbor's entrance. On July 18, 1863, the 54th Massachusetts Volunteer